Hey guys, I'm here with some bonus draft content this week. As you may know, Magic Online this entire year, is doing a different flashback draft every week of a set from the way Modern, from Modern, all the sets that are in Modern. So it's starting with 8th edition, which is the first set in Modern, and so this draft is a triple 8th edition draft. If you have Magic Online, I advise sort of doing these. It's cool to sort of see these older sets and the way things were, the way they were different, the way they were the same. Um, and things like that. I drafted this set a long time ago when I was, basically a child in the early stages of when I was playing Magic. So it'll be interesting to see it today. Um, Before I'm going to try to do every one of these, because they're doing a flashback every week. I can't promise for sure that I'm actually going to get it done. I mean, there are videos that I for sure will be getting done, and then the ones I always get done, which are the weekly draft videos of the most recent format, which right now are Battle for Zendikar, and which in a few weeks will become Oath of the Gatewatch drafts. And my monthly videos on the Commander on a Budget and casual MTG and budget MTG, those will all still be happening, of course. It's harder for me to find time always for a second draft to record every week, but I'm going to try my very best to do it. And I'm at least, so far, I'll be 1 for 1. So at least there's that. Before the draft starts, I just wanted to say, as I always say, that my videos are being also posted on, in addition to being on YouTube, are also posted on paperchampion.net. If you're looking for a great Magic the Gathering site, that's the place to look. So you should go there if you haven't already. And I'll be back with you guys when the first pack opens. All right, our first pack is on the verge of... Ooh, we opened a big money card. So it's what I'm going to take. Plus, I think it's probably pretty good. I mean, Ensnaring Bridge is the card I'm talking about, incidentally. I realized I forgot to say the name. It is worth several tickets, right? Yeah, almost 20. So definitely what I'm taking here. Pays for the 2 of these drafts, basically. And it kind of makes me want to try to build a control deck, which there aren't a lot of in this format, I don't think, but I think I could definitely build a deck that's running lots of lower power creatures and sort of have just a few cards in my hand. I mean, I can shut down the game with Ensnaring Bridge, basically. I could even make milling a way of winning, which is not very fun, but it is a way I could win. My hand's empty. My opponent almost definitely won't be able to kill me, in a limited format because the creatures can't attack. Pacifism, always a very good card. Mentioning some other good cards in this pack. Vine Trellis, Horn Troll, Dusk Imp, all very good cards in their color. Wall of Air, not bad either. And that's about it, really, in this. Oh, well, and Abba Shaman, too, of course, is good. And, Gluttonous Zombie's fine. But we're definitely taking the $20 card and doing so happily. And we'll also take a Thorn Elemental, I think. I haven't actually looked at the rest of this pack. Thorn Elemental is just very strong. I mean, it doesn't have exactly very good synergy with our Ensnaring Bridge, right? But it's just, maybe we don't end up running the bridge and we just end up, having a 20-ticket card. But Thorn Elemental is a very powerful card. Even if he's blocked, he just smacks the opponent for 7. Makes me want to move into sort of a green ramp deck, which it does exist in this format. You have rampant growth and things like that. So I think it's probably what I take here. There's no really strong removal. Ambition's cost is good. Those kinds of spells always are. Deepwood Ghoul is not bad. Dusk Imp, not bad. Lightning Elemental. Those are all the cards that are in this pack that I'd usually be happy to play. Enchantress is fun, but I don't know. I don't think there's a real build around me deck in this format. I mean, there's a Dehydration right here, I guess, and that is a playable enchantment, but I don't think it's good enough most of the time in this format. But yeah, we'll just take a big old Thorn Elemental. Fungasaur, card that is hard to make work, I would say. Phantom Warrior is the kind of card that can just win you the game when you have Ensnaring Bridge in play. You just keep 2 cards in your hand. Your opponent's creatures are all too big to swing, or you keep 1 in your hand, draw a card, swing with your Phantom Warrior, play a card. Your opponent can only swing with 1 power creatures. So Phantom Warrior is pretty attractive. Drudge Skeletons, not a bad card either. Yeah, I think I probably take the Warrior. Sheevan Wumpus is also, Hunted Wumpus, Sheevan Wumpus, different card. Is also better than I think it looks. You can wait in Limited to really play a card like that until late, until your opponent has no cards left in their hand, and slam the Wumpus. But I think I'd rather take the Warrior. It seems like it'll be a better strategy for our deck. Windrake is also good, but I'm going to go with the Warrior. Flying Carpet. No, thank you. Okay. This pack is decidedly unexciting, I think. Don't really want Serpent Warrior. We're not seeing any green cards we really want to play in this pack. Sea Monster, you know, it's a good blocker always, and if your opponent's playing blue, it's better than that. I think I'd probably just take the Barbarians here. It's probably the best card in this pack, which is kind of sad. I mean, he's definitely playable. He's a card that'll make most decks. And that's really the only card in this pack that I think you can always say that about. Spirit Link can sometimes end up basically being a removal spell, and that's nice. And maybe I should think about that. But maybe I should think about that. I mean, you can use it to give your own guys lifelink, or yeah, I think I will take Spirit Link. I mean, it can basically become a removal spell, and I think that's perfectly good. Rod of Ruin is not a bad card. It's another win condition if we get our Ensnaring Bridge in play. And it's a way, you know, it can kill. There's a lot of 1 toughness creatures in this format that are problematic. There's also a Drudge Skeleton's here, but I think I'll just take the Rod. I mean, I know we're not always going to get our Ensnaring Bridge in play, so we can't really like plan on that being our win condition every time. But we can build a defensive deck that wins with a big Haymaker late too, like Thorn Elemental, and you know, it works with Ensnaring Bridge as well. You know, Ensnaring Bridge can be our late Haymaker in some games, and the Thorn Elemental in others. So I think we take like a Horned Troll here. A Horned Turtle rather. Horned Troll would be good too, but it's not in this pack. How much is Choke worth? It is like a big sideboard card and constructed, so yeah, it's worth over a ticket, but do I want the money or the Horned Troll? I think I'll take the Horned Turtle rather. I think I'll take the Turtle. Okay, Crawworm. So green looks pretty open because Crawworms are actually pretty good. Thieves Auction. Oh, that would be fun to play, but very weird card. It would be an interesting one to play, but yeah, we'll take a Crawworm here. Okay, this pack, not really. I mean, there's 2 playable black cards left and 1 playable red card, but I think everything else is kind of meh. I think I'll probably take the Ghoul. We don't want creatures who can't block probably for our deck. Whether we play it, I don't know. That zombie made it back. So did Dusk Imp. I think that means black's probably decently open. Wall of Air did too, which I guess would work okay with our deck if we always get Ensnaring Bridge, you know. But Dusk Imp also works with Ensnaring Bridge and is, I think, a better card most of the time than Wall of Air will be. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the Imp there. Hey, obviously my Enchantress is still around, so I think my hunch that is not a deck was right. I guess I'll take the Enchantress. It is a dude, and it's better than the Orcish thingy. Yeah, we'll take a Drudge Skeletons. Another way for us to stall early. Yeah, Holy Day, I guess. So we do need to pick up some ramp. I think black looks more open than blue does. But being a black-green deck, rocking this bridge, and we also have this Spirit Link. We don't have any like removal yet, which is kind of problematic. We want to pick up some Rampant Growths and Fertile Grounds and cards like that for sure, since we have a 6-drop and a 7-drop. I'll take a foil land. Let's do it. Lone Wolf, you know, not amazing, but perfectly okay. I don't see myself definitely not playing him at least. So I will take him. Okay. Distorting Lens. There's so many jank rares in these old sets. I mean, there still are too, but there's like a lot in like 8th edition, as you can see. I think a Horned Troll is probably a pretty good pick here. His ability to regenerate is very good. Revive, not so good. Vine Trellis. Maybe we should take a card like Vine Trellis instead. It's a good blocker. It can help us ramp. So maybe I should take that. I mean, we're going to want to be throwing, you know, these big creatures out there as soon as possible, or slowing the ground down and winning with like Rod of Ruin or our 2/1 flyer who can attack every turn when their guys can't. So yeah, I think I'll take the Trellis. Wouldn't mind the Dusk Imp wheeling or the Horned Troll. The Horned Troll's probably unlikely, but the Imp definitely could. Yeah. Trellis it is. Master Healer. It's actually a pretty... Well, it costs 5. I was thinking he costs 4. He's an okay card. We're going to take a Rampant Growth here. I think that's the kind of thing our deck was going to want. It also makes it so we can splash more easily if that comes up. Hibernation's a card that we're not going to like to see, but it would be very good if we have like Ensnaring Bridge in play. Our opponent plays Hibernation, makes it so they can Alpha Strike and kill us. That would be bad, but we're going to go ahead and take the growth here. Warped Devotion. I mean, that's another card that you like it's clearly a constructed card that really only works in constructed. Like, you're never going to, well, maybe not never, but, you know, and Summon's right here, I guess. But it's hard to build a Warped Devotion deck in a limited format, that's for sure. I think we pick up Spined Worm here over the other stuff. Sword Dancer is a pretty cool card, but we're not white, and I think we're happy picking up another big beater, especially now that we have a Vine Trellis and a Rampant Growth. So we do want to pick up some removal. Black, not looking ultra open, so we could end up moving into white or into blue, both colors that we have some playable cards in. Okay, well, that is a pretty good removal spell. Creature has to attack, but I think the fact that it's there means white's pretty open. Chastise, I think, is too good not to take. You know, it can kill even the biggest problems in this format. Sacred Ground. There are Stone Rains at common in this format, but still don't think that's what we want. Lone Wolf. I mean, you know, I may play one, but I hope I don't play two. What do we got here? Curiosity, Elvish Lyricist. Looming Shade is fine. I guess that's what I'll take. I don't know if I'm going to end up black. He also works well with the bridge because he can swing and then you can pump him after he starts swinging. So, yeah, I'll take the Shade there. Trained Armadon doesn't seem bad. Green is usually the only color, even in these olden days, to get a 3-mana 3/3 at common. So, that's a nice thing to have. So, yeah, we'll take the Armadon. Pioneer can help us ramp, but it doesn't do so. Like, Rampant Growth searches out a land. Like, it gives you card advantage in a way. Elvish Pioneer, you have to have the land in your hand for it to do anything. I think here we just take a Cockroach. You know, Mana Leak, you know, and those cards are interesting. And maybe I should look at that. I mean, I do have a Horned Turtle and a Phantom Warrior who are both fine, and Mana Leak is very good. So, yeah, I actually think I will take the Mana Leak. And we'll bring our blue colors over here, our blue cards over here, and we may move into those colors into blue, that is, because it hasn't looked, black hasn't looked amazingly open for us, really. Coastal Tower, I mean, I guess that could let us play white, which is also a color we're thinking about more easily, so I think I will take the Tower here. Nothing else in this pack. I mean, Valdivian Barbarians is probably the best card left, so we'll just take a Coastal Tower, though. Here, don't really like anything that's left. I'll go ahead and just take a rare. Not one that I think will ever be relevant, but hey. Diving Griffin is definitely the best card left, and it also indicates to me white's pretty open. So, you know, I think black has of all of our third colors has the weakest cards. Our two white cards are very good, and at least our Phantom Warrior and our Mana Leak I think are quite good, and the Horned Turtle's okay. So I think we got to figure out, you know, based on where the rest of this draft takes us, where we want to go. Okay, Sword Dancer's still there. It is unfortunate he only gives it to attacking creatures, so it won't work like with our Ensnaring Bridge to keep something from attacking, but I think it's what we take here. He's not ultra exciting, but he's perfectly fine, and if I have enough white mana laying around, he can really mess up combat math. Urza's Tower. I mean, I guess I could take that. I will. I don't think I'm going to play it. They might even be worth something. Flash Counter, not a bad sideboard card, I don't think. So I'll take it. Let's see. What are the Urza's lands worth? Yeah, I'll take a Twiddle. Probably, almost definitely not playing it, actually. I'll take a Swamp here. Urza's Tower. Yeah, it's worth almost a ticket, you know. For an uncommon, that's not bad. If we picked up the rest of it, we'd probably think about running them. Although it does make your mana kind of inconsistent. Ooh. Well, we opened a bomb rare after opening a few drunk rares, I'd say. Story Circle, I think, basically solidifies us going into white. I mean, maybe we think about splashing for Mana Leak, but Mana Leak you always want to have the blue for, so it's hard to say that's a good idea. Gravedigger is a very good card. Living Terrain also pretty good. Um, Shock, of course, also good. Those are probably well, and then Tuco Disciples also quite good. Those are probably the best cards in the pack, but Story Circle is definitely number one. You know, being able to negate half of my opponent's spells as long as I have wide open, like in a deck with Ensnaring Bridge, also having Story Circle just seems brutal. I mentioned I opened Junk Rares. I forgot I opened the bridge. So probably shouldn't have said that because the bridge is obviously very good. Spitting Spider is not a bad card at all. There are a few 1 toughness flyers in this format he can kill. He can block them, and he's a 5 mana 3/5. I think I like all of those things, so I think that's what I'm going to take here over everything else. Um, so I would love to pick up a little bit more ramp, but I think we probably have enough. You know, we have 2 ramp spells, so we probably have enough to make it work. And we do have the Coastal Tower, so maybe splashing Mana Leak is what we want to do, but like I said, not being able to cast Mana Leak on turn 2 or 3 when you really want to is annoying. So I think it's probably out. I mean, even though we have a Rampant Growth and a Coastal Tower, it does mean we can pick up some other cards that cost 1 blue that aren't, you know, cards that you really always want to be playing early and splash those. Like maybe a Dehydration, for example. It wouldn't be bad. Volcanic Hammer's really good. Llanowar Behemoth, also pretty good. We have another piece of the Urza Triad, the Urzatron as it's called. But I don't think we want to take that when we have like Dehydration and Llanowar Behemoth as options. Thinking about taking the Dehydration and just splashing blue for it. We don't have a lot of removal. I mean, we're going to be wanting to, we have Chastise basically, and that's it. And it does give us a removal spell for splashing. And I don't think it'll be that hard to splash. The Behemoth is good too, but I think I'm going to take Dehydration. Let me think. The Behemoth, I guess, you know, is pretty good, but I think Dehydration is probably better. I mean, our deck already has a lot of big creatures to help us finish the game, and it's lacking removal, so I think we go for that. Aven Cloud Chaser. There aren't a lot of super playable enchantments in this format. I think I'd probably just take a Rushwood Dryad here. You know, it's just a little 2-drop who can do some damage. I don't advise really taking Crystal Rod. Circle of Protections aren't bad if you're like in a pack and there's nothing really that attractive and you need a card. Like they're very good sideboard cards, obviously. But yeah, we'll take the Dryad here. Pyroclasm, that's pretty fun. Aven Flock, also pretty fun. I think that's what I'll take here. Ooh. Rampant Growth or Aven Flock. I kind of think we want the growth. I mean, we want to be getting our big guys out there as quickly as possible. I mean, I know it kind of runs counter to our Ensnaring Bridge strategy, but that's kind of, you know, Ensnaring Bridge, if it's in our hand and we have a hand that can also help us ramp, we don't need to be playing it. And then if we end up falling behind or dudes end up getting blown up, we can just slam the bridge as a way to stabilize, like instantly, in a way that almost no other card can do. I think I take the growth over the Flock. It is a hard choice, though. The Flock can block for days, and it's not a bad attacker in the air, but I'm going to go for the growth here. Giant Badger, you know, Pyrotechnics is very good. Red seems pretty open, too. Too bad we didn't pick up a land that produces red instead of blue, because Pyrotechnics would be amazing. I think here we just take the Badger, although Samite Healer is also worth thinking about. I don't think Venerable Monk is really worth it. Yeah, I think I'll take the Badger instead of the Healer. It's hard to block. He attacks well. So forth. Another Rampant Growth. So that makes me kind of wish I'd gone a little different, but I think I'll take a third. Maybe I don't play a third, but there's a chance I do. Although Sanctimony is a good sideboard card, but I think I'll go for the third growth. Well, Elfheim Palace. We're pretty happy to get one of those. Green and white are our primary colors, so Angelic Page is also good, but I think the fixing's pretty nice right there. Standing Troops, sure. White's been very open. Cloud Chaser, I think, is pretty good. I mean, you know, it's probably only going to be a sideboard card, but it's good to have. Well, Urza's mine, so I think I'll go ahead and take that. So we ended up with 2 pieces of Tron here. So I'll take a Salve. It's not a bad sideboard card against like a really aggressive deck, packing a bunch of Lava Axes or something. I mean, we do really only have 2 really formidable finishers since we didn't pick up that Behemoth, so that does kind of suck. Especially because we ended up with 3 Rampant Growths. I'll let people play either of those cards happily, and that too, I think. So I think this is basically our deck. Blue. I mean, having the fixing that both produces white is very good for our Story Circle. So it's good to have that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this deck on the whole. I don't know if I want to play 3 Rampant Growths, and we do need to figure out some more cards to put in, I think, because we're only at 20 non-land playable, so we may just mainboard the Cloud Chaser. It's a 4-mana 2/2 flyer, which isn't bad, and it, you know, can be a 2-for-1 sometimes. So I think we do mainboard that. And I think we can put Spirit Link back in since it can basically function as a removal spell. You can put it on your own guys to gain life, but you can put it on your opponent's creature to make it so that every time he attacks, you gain life. So I think that's pretty good. And I think we can definitely play even more spells because we have the advantage of 3 Rampant Growths and a Vine Trellis. So we could throw in like an Enchantress. I mean, we do have 1 Dehydration. That is a downside about Cloud Chaser, is it has to destroy an enchantment. They had a lot of effects like that even more recently, but it seems like in the last couple sets it's always you may to make effects like that a little less annoying. So it's kind of a counter synergy. Our Enchantress. Oh, we have Story Circle too. Man, I don't think I want to play even Cloud Chaser. I mean, I guess I would just not play it if I have one of those in play, and it would be a dead card in my hand. And if I have Story Circle in play, I'm probably okay with not playing it. So I guess I still leave it in, but yeah, I think we do put the Enchantress in. We do have a couple enchantments. 3 enchantments. We also have Spirit Link. So yeah, enchant. You know, I was saying I don't think it would work most of the time, but I think it'll work in our deck. It's a 3-mana 2/2 who occasionally will be a little bit bigger. I think that's our deck, more or less. We run 1 island, and that's it, I think. So we can snag it with Rampant Growth. Yeah, so pretty happy with this draft on the whole because we picked up an Ensnaring Bridge. Which I will be happy to use to finance future drafts. Story Circle not worth anything though. Been reprinted too much, I guess. And it's not really a constructed playable card the way Ensnaring Bridge is. Yeah, we got that Chastise too, which is a very good removal spell. So yeah, I think I like our deck. We are a little lacking on removal still, but we have some pretty sweet top curve that can just like wreck our opponent. And then we have like the backup plan of just like locking our opponent down and killing them with small creatures in the air and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it was a good idea to move into white when we did because it was just super open, as was green. So all right, so I think we want 1 island, and that's what it says we want as well. But I think we want more than 5 planes. Although we do have all the Rampant Growths, so we probably don't really need more than 5 planes now that I think about it. I mean, the double white for Diving Griffin and Story Circle, yeah, we do want more because of something like Story Circle. I think we go 8/6/1. We have Elfhame Palace and Coastal Tower too, which are sources of white and blue and green. So I think that's fine. All right, I think that's our deck. I think it's actually a pretty strong one. We'll see how we do. This is a single elimination draft, and I don't have a lot of time to record these as they're only up for a week. So no matter what, this will be the one I post. So hopefully I do well. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next few rounds. Hopefully there's more than one.